Anyway, hey, greetings salutations, Deacon XLR, and today I'm going to start my new topic, which is stat theories. Now, stat theories pretty much is where we are going to talk about different archetypes, but in a different perspective. Pretty much is full explanation of what type of stats they are. Pretty much, we're going to rate their their speed, power, protection, advantage, consistency, and one more topic, which is not all that much of a per se a stat, but more likely just card take choices that some decks are topped with put in their decks, which is the unpredictability. Sorry, and pretty much it's where we see why they chose that type of card and what plays that they made to utilize that. So pretty much that'll be all that good and well and informative. So let's get straight to the topic. I'm going to start off with the one deck that I do like to play, and that is going to be Thunder Family. Now, Thunder Family has not been seeing a lot of play. To the best of my knowledge, they only have three round four tops in recent years or so since their release from Abyss Rising. But the one that everyone utilizes and has been knowing about was the Montreal second place one, where he main decked 3 Vanity's Emptiness when the card Starter Spark Dragon came out, because it was going to be protected by it, only because the spec was so utilized for it. And that's pretty informative, and pretty much that's the same type of thing that I use at the ARG side event, bounding main deck 2 with two Trap Suns, which I did see that ahead of time, and it was pretty good, and it helped me win games. But the thing is, I did not use Starter Spark Dragon during the time, and yeah, pretty much. But yeah, let's get straight to the point. Thunder Family is very consistent. It's a very consistent deck wise, because you use Thunder Seers, search for 2 cards, and then you can recycle these and sit under, and just keep going with a lot of rank 4 plays, or you can choose Violent Prism to go into the big rank 8 plays, which Violent Prism gives it a boost of 1,000 attack points. Now, the deck needs to see more play, because there's going to be a lot more rank 4s. The deck is very consistent. You always recycle. It needs to see more play. I want to push that. And it's just that pretty much is my type of style. I do like it. Like I do have other decks I do like to do style on, but that's the most one I like to do. Pretty much, and that's perfect. Now let's go ahead and do the stat point of mind of the deck. So let's go ahead and start with the speed. Pretty much the deck utilizes speed in a certain type of way. Starting turns it will be slow, but late game it will be faster, only because it builds up. You search for all your monsters that you need. You thin out your deck. You always get your spell and trap cards that you need. You always have the access to the pot of duality to get your trap cards like torrentials, your balance trap holes, your Black Hornet Heavens, your wiretaps, your lances, your MSTs, whatever you use, Phoenix Chains, Break the Skills, something. You always get those. Then you always search for your monsters. You always draw here's the whole thing. You always draw your spell and trap cards. You always search for your monsters. You can also, and pretty much, yeah, that's pretty much all it is to it. Now, there's certain ways you can play with the deck that pretty much the speed will conquer you. You can do aggro, which pretty much is the fastest way, but it's not very much suggestive. You can do control, which is slow. To stall time, use a measure piece, or like in the past, people use threatening roars, which right now I would not suggest doing because it kind of uses at the point. Battle phase wise, trap cards are not all that much needed in this format, except for Dimension Prism, of course, because Dimension Prism is pretty good, and because it has, and pretty much is pretty useful, except for when people just like lance and all that stuff, but it's pretty still viable. And pretty much extra deck wise, the deck has that pretty big potential. It has access to omegas, which always stop spell and trap cards, or at least let your opponent waste spell and trap cards. If your opponent has like those battlefield trap cards, they will always try to use at least 2. If you have the access to lands, they always try to use at least 3, or you waste a Phoenix Chain on it. That's the best part about Omega. You have access to Darkline Carnage, which pretty much allows you to not let you MST your cards. Like your if you main deck or side deck your Soul Drains, or you try to stop them with the with the Phoenix Chain. MST, no, change target. Lance, no, change target. It's that simple. They have access to Surrey Spot Dynamo, which negates stuff. They have access to all these generic rank 4s, and the good that rank 4s take 2 light monsters. Dynamic Family can also use the ones that use 3 level 4 generic ranks. Back when what I'm trying to say, Shockmaster, yes, back when Shockmaster was pretty big, like they utilized those pretty easily. Like I loved the fact Shockmaster was good back then, because pretty much it helped me stop spellbooks when they were like big. It helped me pretty much stop dragons when they were big. They helped me stop mermaids, all that stuff. Even though I could stop them at say at least easily. Especially now since I am running the deck with Soul Drain, because Soul Drain pretty much utilizes pretty much an 80 deck, it's like the Monster Reborn, but at a bigger certain point of state, and pretty much only good mid and late game. But I will talk about the Soul Charge in another video and another topic. But let me go straight back to the point. Thunder Family also has access to rank 8s, Stardust Spark, Crimson Blader, which will see more play. Now again, Scrap Dragon. They also have access to Colossal Spider, but no one really plays it because it's not really much all needed. They'll see more play with Archetype Parshat, which again, not gonna see that much play. It might see enough play in that deck next format, only because it pierces. And plus, pretty much, you can just, just stop them in their tracks. But like I said, pretty much, Dynamic Family is very control-based, but also speed consistent. Their power-wise, pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Even though, like I said, the monster main deck are weak, their bigger monster is always an extra deck, which is pretty good. And like I said, their speed and power together will be amazing. Consistency wise, that deck really consistent. If you pretty much start off first turn with a Sith Sunder, Sith Sunder and a Thunder Seahorse with a Plotted Duality, you're good. Or you start with 2 Thunder Seahorses or a Ma Pa, you're good. Or if you start with the Ma Pa Thunder Seahorse, you're good. It's all that good. You also need Wiretap, because pretty much if you start first turn, you can pretty much just say normal, and done. You have on stand, protected. Next turn, go and do Exciton Knight, blow up the field, get to go. I used to use that play. It's fucking amazing. That's on my deck too, Exciton Knights. You can also utilize cards like the Hoban Trilogy, which is Karkar-D, Upstarts, and Reckless Greaves, but I would not suggest it because pretty much it kind of blows out the consistency a bit, because I test played it with it, and it does kind of blow up consistency a tad bit, only because you don't want to usually draw the monsters. You mostly want to draw spell and trap cards. I'm not saying it's bad, it's just not all that much worth it per se. I would just utilize Max C and just be done with it. That's just my topic. And then what's next? Right, advantage. There's some points that have an advantage to it per se. especially with Soul Charge. So say your opponent has the upper hand, but they waste all their resources and they have no outs to it once you do it. Let's say if you just normal summon in the Monopod, you want to try to blow the field, you either A, just go into mod and try to negate it with Effect Veiler or Phoenix Shame. Sure, Soul Charge. Boom, you're done. If you have Recycling Battery Soul Charge, that'll be a plus because pretty much you can just utilize going into bigger plays, and then your opponent will not do anything to stop it or get off of it. And pretty much that's an advantage in my point of view. The only thing that I do have a problem with is that if they had a little bit more support. I'm not saying that support is bad right now, but if they had a little bit more support, like at least another trap card to aid them, per se, like how Evos weren't, like let me give you an example. How Evos wasn't really doing all that great until that trap card came out to where they can bring out their rank 6. And also they can bring out their other rank 4s for more play. And to me, that was that one card actually made the deck a lot better. And so if they pretty much gave us at least a card for that deck, or at least something else. Now, I'm not saying they do have one card no one uses, and that's pretty much Solar Recharge. Not Solar Recharge. I don't know, but just that spell card where pretty much you can just put the one low for like Thursday Monster and 4 XC material on the face upon the field, and they destroy it at 2 level 4 like Thursday Monster, the same name from your graveyard into your hand. If that card leaves the field, which utilizes a scrap deck, or if they pretty much like you said it and they MST it, that's pretty good. Which I will be testing it, but I'm not going to because it's really useless. But it's pretty good, but it's not all that bad. It's not pretty good. But like I said, the advantage is pretty good, and the consistency is the best in any deck possible because you always recycle with recycling batteries and sits under. There's no end to it. There's definitely no end to the consistency of that deck. Especially when you thin out your deck of monsters and all draw spawn trap cards. Once you do that, you got game, pretty much. And pretty much, last but not least, is the unpredictability. Now, you can utilize, and I mean, you can pretty much utilize rank up magic cards. The one rank up magic cards that I would really suggest using, and only suggest using, is the 7th one. And that's kind of good and bad. The only reason that it's good is because, yes, you can utilize that and go in for 101 or 105 or 107 or I think 107. Which I would not say choose 107 because that card, well, that card to me is kind of eh. And I do like 105 because you just pop a card, blow it up, then attack the game with it, per se. And 101 is pretty good because in that way you can pretty much use only one, like C101, and you'll use one 101 in your deck and one C101. And when you draw that card, reveal it, activate it, and then you can just pretty much revive the 101, overlay, and go in for that, and you can also have that. And plus, also, it works well with the Soul Charge, only because you can bring it back and you can still utilize their effects. So that's pretty much a really good point and part of it, especially with the 105 and the C105 and the C101. Because C105, you can destroy a card, destroy a monster, send it to graveyard, deal half damage to original attack. Then the C101, you can bring it back, and you always have, and pretty much you can blow it up, or if it gets destroyed, you can bring it back a lot, and then gain life points. So pretty much you gain life points back after you Soul Charge. So pretty much it's all good and dandy. And also you can tech other cards in pretty much to your standards. There's been a lot of cards I've teched in the main deck wise. Pretty much Unpredictability, like I said, you can main deck in Vainsmaness will not hurt you. It will definitely not hurt you because pretty much you can just keep saying, oh yeah, Vainsman can't special summon. Yeah, I'm gonna activate Lance on your monster and then yeah, destroy that and go in for it. And then everyone's like, oh boom, yeah, you know you can't do that again. but also it helps. That deck also helps with side decking as well, because if you side deck, you always will get your side decks kind of early or at least mid game, which is always pretty good. Late game wise, no, it's terrible. But in long story short, Thunder Family is a pretty good deck, and I really would like to see more play with it. And I will prove it to y'all when my Dev Pro will stop acting so slow with the update. I hate it. I really do. And I don't want to play any matches on Dual Network because too many noobs on there, and I hate it so much. But yeah, but also I do like to say this, like next format they'll be as best as possible because there'll be more Exceeds, especially the Exceed Rebellion Dragon, which is pretty good, and also there'll be a lot of combo plays with it as well, which I will actually demonstrate for y'all later in another video, which I will do after this one. So, but like I said, that's pretty much the end of it, and pretty much so stat wise. So pretty much just go back through one more time with the stats, so that way I can end this video because it's already pretty much like 16 minutes right now. So let's get up speed wise, minimal. Yeah. Power wise, pretty high in the extra deck, not the main deck. Just saying. Protection wise, I would say minimally good to a standpoint at best, depending on your spell and trap lineup wise. Because pretty much MST now sided card lances are main. I would say utilize dress, but not going to. It's pretty much not all that great at Slash at the moment. Except for against Hatch. That's just my thing, but I will talk about it in another video later. But protection wise, but still pretty good. It does all depends. Again, advantage wise, good. Only dependable on your extra deck and your trap lineup, like I said, and main deck lineup, because pretty much advantage wise, great if you utilize the plays right from the extra deck. Then pretty much consistency, highest there is, you have to admit, and unpredictability, again, standpoint wise, it's pretty good. So all in all, that's my theory about the deck. It needs to see more play, and I would love to see having more play. But yeah, but that's pretty much all there is to it. Hopefully y'all enjoyed what I said about it, and I'll have more video. I'll have another one of a theory next week on another deck I'm thinking about playing, which is going to be E-Balls. So y'all need to stay tuned with that. But y'all will also see another video of matches I will have with Thunder Family, of the current Thunder Family deck I have. I will not reveal the deck list. No way. I'm not going to reveal my deck list of it just yet until I top with it. Until I get top 8 with it next format. So y'all need to stay tuned on that one. But yeah. But anyway, let me just go ahead and free out because it's already been like almost 20 minutes. And yeah. So leave a comment down below. Rate, subscribe, comment, la-di-da-da-da. And yeah. Deuces.